So, Dave, how are you this evening?
Welcome to my office, Pete.
Thanks.
Doing good.
I came in for a foot washing, but
not today.
No, not today.
I would gladly do your foot washing. Pete.
That's not where God's asked you to serve him.
No, actually, it has been before, but.
Anyways, no. First of all, thanks for your time and for agreeing to do this. I appreciate it. But where has God asked you to serve him, Dave?
Good. So first, let me say, Pete, that I try to look at serving God as a daily form of worship. To me, it really means trying to embrace a life that really mirrors His. Not easy to do, but I think about that every day when I come into this office. I think a verse that really has helped me a lot, that I try to think about when I first get going in the day, is Colossians 3:23, and it says, "Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord, not for men. It is the Lord Christ that you are serving." That kind of centers me, obviously, a little bit, and helps me to focus on not just coming down to treat people physically, but caring for them. So when you ask me where is God called to serve, I think it's a number of different areas, and certainly here, and I'll get to that in a minute. But I really feel God's called me to serve Him. Number one, as a faithful husband. Two, as a faithful father, a faithful grandfather, a faithful member of Montvale Church. And then I would say, lastly, but maybe my biggest mission field is right here at 124 3rd Avenue, Westwood, New Jersey, where He's called me to be a sports medicine podiatrist, basically treating foot and ankle conditions. So, yeah.
Well, you're serving well, Dave. I can attest to that from my vantage point, at least.
Thanks, brother. I try.
As a follower of Jesus, what do you find most fulfilling in your work?
I would say certainly one fulfilling thing I think will be obvious is I get to see a lot of different patients, and I see a lot of athletes, which I love. So I don't think there's anything to me more. Well, there is, but what's one satisfying thing for sure is when an athlete comes in and they wind up getting back to what they love, or they get back to their sport, because of my treatment, and that makes you feel pretty good, and no doubt about it. But honestly, I would have to say the most fulfilling part of what I do, or what I get a chance to do, is when somebody comes in the office and I get to connect with them on a different level, a much deeper level, when they have some kind of concern. And to be honest with you, it's amazing what happens when somebody sits down like you in that chair. If I'm sensitive enough, Pete, to the Holy Spirit's leading, if I ask the right questions, if I'm not in a rush, you'll be amazed at what comes out of someone's heart sitting right there next to you. People are people, and they're hurting, especially in this world today. So if I ask the right questions, I'll get some surprising answers. And obviously what that does is it opens up an opportunity for me to share the love of Christ with them. And that can come in a couple of different forms, and sometimes it does. Sometimes it's just being a good listener.
Right.
Sometimes it's giving some counsel. People actually ask me my advice. They want to know what I think. And I think one of the most satisfying things is when they ask me, or I ask them if they would mind if I pray with them. That's fun. And so I've had an opportunity to pray with quite a few people. As a matter of fact, it's kind of funny. There are some people, Pete, who will come in regularly like people do. And when they're finished with treatment, they'll say, "Hey, Dr. Dave, would you mind praying for me? Will you pray for me?" So it's become kind of a regular thing, which is really neat. So that's probably the most fulfilling part.
Yeah, so you're fixing more than feet here.
Well, yeah, that's a good question, Pete, because I got a little podiatry humor for you.
Okay.
What I'm really doing here is I'm fixing their soul.
Oh, S-O-L-E, S-O-U-L.
S-O-U-L. Very good. Very good. So I get a little both.
Good. What do you find most challenging in your work?
I would say that probably the most challenging thing to date now, and it's certainly been a little bit more recently, is finding the proper balance between focusing on what the patient really needs me to do for them treatment wise, and then really caring about the patient and being able to spend enough time. Unfortunately, Pete, medicine's changed a lot, and I'm sure a lot of people know when they go into a doctor's office, they don't get much time. So I think what it's done is it's forced a lot of physicians to hurry through what they do, and so that's the biggest challenge. Is I love to spend time with people. I like to get to know them, talk to them. So and I really do care for them. So trying to spend enough time with them and balance that with good professional care, so they'll get better for the reason why they came in. But honestly, it's tough because you got to make a living too.
Right, right.
So it's a little bit of a challenge sometimes.
So how might the Montvale Church pray for you and your work?
That's great. Well, that would be it. To be honest with you, that's one of my prayers that I actually pray for almost every day before I come in the office. Lord, help me to be the best servant I can be today, but it's helped me to maintain that balance between, spending enough time with someone and caring for them the right way, but yet being able to get through a day and pay my bills.
Right.
So it's, that would be a great prayer for me, just to maintain that balance.
Well, you heard it. There's the prayer for Montvale. For Dr. Dave, but no, in all seriousness, Dave, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your servant leadership, both at the church and here in your practice. And I look forward to working with you in many years to come.
Hopefully it's not because you're hurt.
No.
Thanks, Pete. I really had a good time. Appreciate it.
Dave.
Thanks, Brian.